In Belarus, police have fired stun grenades and tear gas at protesters calling for the resignation of President Lukashenko. Dozens of people were arrested as police in riot gear surrounded the demonstration in the capital, Minsk. There have been weekly protests since Mr. Lukashenko secured a sixth term in office in a disputed election last August. The Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall were in Berlin earlier to mark Germany's traditional day of remembrance for all victims of war. It's the first time a member of the British royal family has taken part in the event. Prince Charles joined the German president laying a wreath and called for the bond between the two countries to always remain strong.
We'll have a look at today's papers as well. Right now, The Telegraph says the Prime Minister's plans for a reset of number 10 have been thrown into disarray after being told he must self-isolate. The paper says Downing Street's COVID secure measures are also under scrutiny.
The Times leads with a suggestion that Chancellor Rishi Sunak is considering plans to charge motorists for using Britain's roads amid concerns over a £40 billion shortfall created by the switch to electric cars.
He will be up there in heaven laughing, says the Mirror, as it dedicates its front page to remembering the entertainer Des O'Connor, who died on Saturday.
The new series of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here is one of the most read articles on Wales Online. It's on the front page of many of the papers this morning as well. This year's lineup, if you watched it last night, you'll know, includes Mo Farah, Vernon Kay, Shane Ritchie, plenty of others as well. And you can see they are waiting for their first challenge yesterday called Gates to Hell. We'll catch up with Harry Redknapp later in the programme, who was King of the Jungle when it was in the jungle back in 2018.
Yeah, and he's been watching it, I think especially for us.
He never watched it before he went on it, did he?
No.
And now he's watching it, which you have to. What have you got on the inside? You got anything fun on the inside?
Oh, yeah. Where is it? I want to talk about this chef. I love cookery programmes on the telly.
Yes.
And this...
MasterChef finalist.
Thank you very much. Actually, it changed my life. Honestly, I cook so much because of it. It's amazing. Best thing I've ever done. So this is 12-year-old Amari McQueen, and he has landed his own cooking series on CBBC. He's from South East London. He presented the first of his programmes yesterday. He's going to show young viewers how to make lots of different things, including, deliciously, a banana breakfast shake.
Oh,
sounds perfect for us, doesn't it? Also, a plum blackberry crumble. His favourite chef is Gordon Ramsay. He said, I aspire to be as accomplished as him, but I want to be myself. I like the way he's strict in the kitchen and he works really hard. It's on CBBC every Sunday at 9:30 in the morning. We've
got loads of sport for you on the programme today. Lewis Hamilton celebrating 7 world titles. Also, did you watch any of the golf, I have to say?
No.
No? Well,
I was watching The Crown.
Tracy, our floor manager, watched the golf. Enjoyed it, Trace? Well done, Trace. Lovely. Nothing wrong with The Crown. We're talking to 2 stars from The Crown, actually, those who play Charles and Diana later in the programme. Josh O'Connor and Emma Corrin are going to be live on Breakfast. Well, the reason I mentioned the golf, right, is because Dustin Johnson won, world number 1.
I do know
won
that.
the Masters, right? But there was a brilliant moment when Tiger Woods, on the 12th hole at Augusta, which is a short par 3, it's about 158 yards, put it in the water, 3 times and took a 10. First time in his entire PGA Tour career, he's had 10 on one hole. But
for all back to the golf day I played with you, Dan.
But for all his achievements, this is the measure of Tiger Woods. 6 holes left in the Masters. Most golfers would think, OK, I've finished, that's it, no chance of winning. He was 5 under par for those last 6 holes. That is a great lesson to anybody.
I'm quite good at 10s.
You did it, but you did win the golf day as well. Jenga. Have a look at this lady here. This lady is a designer of Jenga, right? Her name is Leslie Scott. She's the one who came up with Jenga in the first place, and it's just gone into the US Toy Hall of Fame, which is really hard to get into. Monopoly's in there, dominoes, chess, the ball, marbles, and she's in there now. And I never knew this about Jenga. This is a niche Jenga fact. All the blocks in Jenga are different sizes. Did you know that?
No. They look exactly the same to me.
Well, she says this is the heart of the game, because if they're all the same size, you wouldn't be able to poke them out.
Oh, I love Jenga.
So they're slightly random sizes. That's why you're able to sort of find one that doesn't quite fit and you can push your finger through. Initially, she really struggled to sell it. Nobody would take her up on it. She insisted it was called Jenga, which is Swahili for to build. And eventually, a Canadian company took it up. They tried to get her to change the name from Jenga. She insisted it had to be Jenga. They started selling thousands of copies. And she's now sold over 100 million around the world, which is enough to build a Jenga tower to the top of Everest 2,000 times.
It's a great game. It's a great game. Nina, do you play Jenga?
Yes. Yeah, I've started teaching the kids Jenga, but I'm really surprised that each one is a different size.
Well, they're not...
different shape.
Not each one is a different size. They're random sizes, so she doesn't say exactly how, but the genius of it is, if all the blocks were identical, you wouldn't be able to push them out.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah,
makes sense. It does
there
make
you go.
sense.
You can dazzle your friends with that when you're playing in a pub.
They will be
garden.
fascinated with those Jenga facts, Dan.
So
to the
Nina's
top
back.
of Everest and back. Yeah,
We're talking about
believe
Christmas
it or
again.
not, I know you're in denial about this.
I'm not, you know that.
You're not. We've been up for it since September. Christmas is just around the corner. Good morning. We are officially on the countdown. And for shops, restaurants and bars, this is normally a really busy time. Now, they would usually cope with the demand by taking on temporary staff, generating seasonal employment. But as we know, thousands of businesses are closed at the moment. And it's not just the faces you see in store or serving tables, but warehouse staff, IT workers, data experts. There are big ripples to employment. Now, according to the job site at Zuna, there are currently just under 14,000 Christmas jobs on offer across the UK at the moment. Now, this time last year, there were more than 20,000 vacancies, so a reduction of more than 30%. And Total Jobs told Breakfast that the jobs market is basically flat when it would normally be growing in the lead up to Christmas. They did tell us that things are looking better than they were in the first lockdown in March, though there is some growth out there, mainly in logistics, IT and social care. But the market is really tough.